Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name's Mads and I create bookish content here on YouTube as well as over on Instagram and TikTok. In today's video, we are going to be reorganizing my bookshelves. As you can see, I've already taken all of the books off and have organized them into piles on my floor. Now, I don't necessarily have a concrete game plan, but I do have an idea on where I want to start. So let's just get right into it because there is a lot of books to get through and I'm starting to become a little bit overwhelmed. So let's jump right into it. So I decided to start down here because this is where my TBR cart sits. So these three shelves tend to be blocked by it. So I have to be very particular in which books I put here because I won't really get a good view of them unless I move the cart. So on this bottom shelf, I'm going to put my Throne of Glass books just because I have them covered with these nerdy ink dust jackets and I am not really loving them as much as I used to. So I don't mind not seeing them for a little bit. Next to my Throne of Glass books, I'm gonna put my 2 sets of ACOTAR books. Up on this second shelf, I am going to put my Crescent City books. And I have quite a few, even though there are only 3 books in the series currently out. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And now on this third shelf, I'm going to put the paperbacks that I own of all 3 series, or actually of all 2 series. So I have my like OG covers of ACOTAR, which I will put here. I have those in 3 books, and then I have a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition for Silver Flames, and then I have 2 sets of the Crescent City series. So these are from Barnes & Noble, and this set is from Waterstones. The only annoying part about these are the Waterstones are shorter, but I think we're just gonna have to make do. Okay, I brought you a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing, but these are all of the Sarah J Maas books I have, but I have this awkward space here, so I think I'm going to put my Raven Kennedy books here and hopefully they fit, but I actually don't think they will, but let's see. So I have the Bookish Box editions of the Plated Prisoner series, so I have all of those. And then I also have I believe these are the Fairy Loot editions, and then I have 1 edition from Goldsboro. So I don't think they're gonna fit, which means I think I have to change this side up a little bit to give this more room. Okay, I think I like that, but let's look from afar. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. I mean, you're not going to really even see this section, so I'm not too worried, but I think I actually do like it. Okay, I like how those 3 shelves look, but now it's time to move on to the top 3 shelves so we can finish this bookcase and get on to the others. Here, I think I want to put my Samantha Shannon books. I have 2 of her series, so let me grab them and then we can start putting them up. For the bone season, I have 2 versions of each book. I have, for example, I have the Forbidden Planet editions and the Broken Binding editions. So I would like to display one of them because they are so beautiful, and I think I'm gonna display the Broken Binding edition. My Broken Binding edition of the Dark Mirror hasn't arrived yet, so I will just keep that out for now. And I think once I get my Broken Binding edition of the Dark Mirror, I'll be able to just push this book over and it'll go there. And I already know what I want to do for decorations. Let me grab it. I have this really cute candle that says book club, and this, I don't even know what these are called, but when you light it, it will turn this mechanism, and there are dragons on it. I got it from the Bookish box. So I want to display that near my Priory of the Orange Tree editions. How does that look? Okay, I think I like that. So let's move on to the next shelf, and I am going to put my Jennifer L. Armentrout books up here. Now, I don't remember the order in this series, so bear with me, and hopefully I get it somewhat right. Okay, I pulled you guys out a little bit so you can see both shelves. Now, like I said, don't know the order of anything, so I'm just going to see what works, see what fits, really. I am missing one book in between, which is why it's not lining up. Now, I don't have enough books in this series to fill 2 full shelves, so I would like to condense it down to 1, but I don't think that's gonna be possible. But I think I have an idea on what to put at the top that can blend well with these series. I am going to put my Zodiac Academy books up here with them. And I'm also gonna put my Broken Bonds, or the bonds that tie. Yeah, that series as well up there. This is my Fortuna Swan, I think it's called. Fortuna Sworn series. And I have a little bit more room. Okay, I think I like how that looks, but I'm going to move on to the next shelf, see how that turns out, and if I need to do some swapping, I will. So we are back on the ground on the left side of the bookcase. I'm skipping the middle for now just because I want those shelves to look extra special. But down here, I think I'm going to put my Broken Binding editions. Now, this is currently the only book subscription I have, so I have amassed quite a few series. So I'm hoping I can fit them all on these bottom 2 shelves. Now this series, I forget what this series is actually called, The Mask of Mirrors, but this is the series that the Broken Binding is currently releasing. So I want to leave this with some room. So I'm just going to fill out the other 2 shelves with all these books. So I have a little bit of room down here, which means once I get the next edition of the following book, I can move one of these books down to here and then keep doing that. But soon I will need 3 shelves for the Broken Binding. but I love their editions. After further investigation, I actually have 2 more broken binding books, which means, let's see. Okay, now I'm done. Those are all the broken binding books I have. Great. Let's move up to the top 4 shelves now. So I don't have a plan for the rest of the shelves, so what I think makes the most sense is just going through all the books that are on the ground and start placing them on the shelves that I think that they'll look best on, and then organizing it from there. So let's get into it. Okay, so I finished these 4 shelves and I'm not sure if I like how it's looking, but whilst I was organizing, I did come across a few books that I think I want to sell. The Blood Trader by Lynette Noni, which I think is the 2nd book in the series. Maybe it's actually, I have no idea, but this is a Fairy Loot exclusive edition. And then I also have Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. This is the 2nd book in the series, and I have never been able to get the 1st book, and every time someone is selling the 1st book, they're selling the 2nd one with it. So I think I might actually just sell this book, and if I want to rebuy it, I could just buy the whole set all at once. Also have these Cassandra Clare books. I have Chain of Thorns and Chain of Iron. These are books 2 and 3 in the, I don't know what series this is called, but these are Fairy Loot editions, and I don't have the 1st book. I never got it, so I might sell these as well. So for right now, I'm putting these books on my bed because I don't want to put these on my shelves whilst I continue organizing. So this shelf here, I decided to display my ARC copy of Faybound. It is the only ARC I have, and I really love Faybound. I'm reading Cursebound this month. I'm so excited, but I wanted to display my ARC copy, so I put it right in the center of this entire case. And next to it, I have my other Faybound copies, along with Cursebound, and then I have mine. Ooh, this is backwards. I have my One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns series here. These Hollow Vows and These Twisted Bonds, which I think there's another book that I need. I have to look into that. I have my Fate Inked in Blood, my 2 copies of that series here. And then over here, I have all my Carrie Maniscalco books. So I have Throne of the Fallen, Throne of Secrets, and then I have the Kingdom of the Wicked, Kingdom of the Cursed, Kingdom of the Feared series here. So I like how this is looking, and then below it I have my R.F. Kuang books. I have some randos that I really need to read but I know nothing about, and then I have my Leigh Bardugo books, and then all of my Olivia Blake books. So I'm fine with how this shelf is looking, and I don't mind how this one is looking. These 2 here are the ones giving me problems. So I'll bring you closer so you can see exactly what's on the shelves. Okay, so this is not the most flattering angle, but I wanted to give you guys a really good view of my top 2 shelves. So up here, it's really a hodgepodge. I have some Stephen King, I have Dune, I have my Empire of the Vampire series. So this kind of makes no sense, but I don't have a place for these books to go. Like, I always end up putting these books with each other because I don't know of a better spot. And then here is another hodgepodge mess. So what I'm thinking is I might need to declutter these 2 shelves and think about if I really want these books or if I should pass them on to a better home. So I showed you the books that I think I'm decluttering, and I think I might have to pick a few more from here. So I have this edition of the Book of Sand. This is a Waterstones exclusive edition, and I know nothing of this book, and I don't know if I should sell this or keep it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull down the books that I'm not fully in love with on my shelves, put those in a pile and forget about them for now. And if I think like, okay, I don't want them anymore, I'll sell them. Or if I miss having them on my shelves, I'll incorporate them back. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so now I have a little bit more room here. And I think with that room, I am going to move a few of these books up here. I have 2 copies of Voyage of the Damned. I think I'm gonna move those up here. Let's see, I have Sister Song. This one too. This is Strange the Dreamer. This is, I got this secondhand, and I know I spent a pretty penny, but it is signed. So I think I like how that looks a little bit more. And the books that I took off, because I don't think I told you guys. So I took off the Book of Sand, and then I have 2 books in this Richard Swan series, Tyranny of Faith and The Justice of Kings. I don't have the next book, and I don't know if I'm gonna want to buy it. It's just, this isn't a series that I necessarily want to read, and I want to fill my bookshelves with books that I actually want to read. And then I'm also taking off City of Last Chances by Adrian. I do not know how to pronounce his last name, and I don't want to butcher it. This was an amazing edition from Goldsboro, but I never got the second edition, or I mean the second book in the series, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it, and I really don't want to spend a lot of money on a book that I don't know anything about and probably will never read. So, okay, here we are now. So this definitely looks better. I wish I had more. Could I? Let's just see. No. Okay, never mind. Okay, so these books that are here, I really don't know anything about. So I am just going, I'm going to keep it like that, which means I have a little bit more room. Let's see what else I can put up here. I have these 2 TJ Klune books, In the Lives of Puppets and, oh wait, they're both In the Lives of Puppets, but they're really beautiful editions. One is from Fairyloot, and I might have gotten this one from Waterstones. I'm gonna put these on the shelf as well. What else? Okay, so I just found The Shadow Cabinet. Now this is, I think, the second book in the series. So this is a book that I might have to part with if I can't find the first book for a reasonable price, because I really don't have necessarily a great interest in reading this book. So I don't want to go on, spend a lot of money on the first book and then just really never read it. I need to be better with my money. And I have a little bit more room, and I have Painted Devils. The first book is Little Thieves, and I don't think I have it. Which means if I don't have it, I think I need to part with this copy, because if I don't have the full series, and if I don't even have the first book, like, am I really ever going to read this one? So I'm going to put it on the shelf for now and then think about it, and then if I take it off, I'll let you guys know. Okay. Now we are finally on the middle bookcase, and I have so many books on the floor, I really don't think these are all going to fit. So I might have to unhaul a few, because I believe I mentioned before, I just did a huge Amazon order, a Barnes & Noble order, a Waterstones order, along with actually a few other places. So I have a lot of books incoming. I'll be filming a haul probably next weekend. So these aren't all gonna fit. So let's see what makes most sense. For this middle shelf, this is like the center shelf of my full library. I want to do something a little bit special. So let me pull some books that I want to display and put them on the shelf and see what we can do. So I have these bookish box editions of The Goal, The Score, The Deal, and The Mistake by L. Kennedy. And I've never displayed these, so I kind of want to give them their moment. I also have these really gorgeous editions of A Deal with the Elf King, A Dance with the Fey Prince, and A Duel with the Vampire Lord by Elise Kova. And I also have these bookish box, A Game of Retribution, A Touch of Ruin, A Game of Fate, and A Touch of Darkness. I feel like that looks nice. Okay, I'm gonna leave that like that for now, and then I'll probably change it. But let's keep going. I think on this top shelf that you can't really see, but I'll show you after I put the books, I'm gonna put books that are on my TBR, but I'm probably not gonna get to for a while. But I think one day I hopefully will. Okay, I think on this shelf I'm going to put some series that I've read, and then that series that I'm currently reading here. You know what I'm thinking? I'm actually gonna move these books down to this third shelf that you can't see and put some contemporary romances here instead. So let me do that. I think on this shelf down here, I'm gonna put my fourth ring books as well. Okay, I think that looks okay. Let's go back up to this shelf, and I'm gonna put some of my favorite contemporary romances. One of my favorite authors is Emily Henry, so I am going to put her books up here along with my Allie Hazelwood books. Now I have all of these Afterlight books that I don't think I want to keep, so I might put these aside for now. If I have room, I'll add them to my shelves, but I might sell these guys. We shall see. The shelf is giving me some problems. Don't know how I want to display it. Okay, I think I'm okay with that for now. I want to move to a different shelf and then come back to that guy. Final two shelves. Once we finish these, we can edit the top and then we will be done. I feel like several hours has passed. So I have a very large stack of books here. These are all Asian inspired, Asian fantasies, and these have some of the most gorgeous covers. And I think I'm gonna put them on this shelf, and then, or actually I think I'm gonna put them on the bottom shelf, and then we'll see what's left for this middle shelf. Okay. Okay, so I have a bit of room here, which means I'm going to put some of my already read books. So, Where the Dark Stands Still, Spells for Forgetting, and Evocation. I think I'm gonna put them down here. Look at all this room we have. And then up here, I think I'll be able to display even more books. And then once I do my book haul, I'll have some room on my shelves for my new books. Okay, I feel like I kind of lost the plot down here. I'm not loving how these look, but let's look at the whole shelves in total and see if what we want to move around. So this clip might be a little bit shaky, so please bear with me, but I want to give you guys a quick close-up of all the shelves. Like we were saying, the top shelf up here really doesn't make much sense. Those books I have not read yet and really don't plan on it anytime soon, except Voyage of the Damned right here. That was supposed to be on my TBR, but I just never got to it, and I will one day. This next shelf I feel like makes even less sense than the one above it. Again, I just really struggling. If you guys have any ideas on how I should better organize my books, please let me know. Then here, this center shelf, I wanted to display my ARC copy of Faybound. It is so gorgeous, so I wanted to give it its own moment. And then we have all of my like Olivia Blake books and my Leigh Bardugo and Arv Kuang books there. And then below two shelves, these are my broken binding books. Then if we go on to our middle shelf, we have some books that are pretty high on my TBR that I would like to get to, with actually a little bit of room right there. And then we have some of my favorite contemporary romances. And then we have a few more here. These are romantasy, obviously, and these are as well. These are a little bit darker. And then we have some sports romances right here. Then these are kind of a mixture of books I have already read and loved, and then books I'm actually currently reading and that are on my TBR, with some books I really want to get to. And then down here we have my Sarah Kate set, Praise, Mercy, Give Me More, and Eyes on Me, with some of Katie Roberts' books, some Grace Draven, and then some randos right there. And then down here I have all my Asian inspired fantasy and romantasy books, and then a few books that I have actually already read. Den of Vipers, which makes no sense there, but that's where that landed. And then more Emily Henry. Those are just taller than those books, so they didn't really fit. And then a random Casey McQuiston book. And then over here, my rightmost shelf, this kind of turned out my favorite. At the bottom, we have all of my Sarah J. Maas books. And then we have my Raven Kennedy books, my Samantha Shannon shelf, which looks really good. I flipped this one. These were both facing outwards, so I flipped it so you can see the name. Looks so good though. And then I have all of my Jennifer L. Armentrout books here, some bleeding into this shelf up here. And then these are all of my Bookish Box editions. We have Zodiac Academy, the Bond Set Tie series, we have Fortuna Sworn, and then I forget. What's this guy? Oh, the Diviners. But yeah, I feel like the shelves look pretty good. Am I in love? No, like I said. But I feel like I did a pretty decent job. And that's the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It means the world to me. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.